Hi, Brittany. Hi, Isaac. Hi, Nick. Hi, everyone. Hi, HLC. Love you all.
Oh yeah, I just got a little message that said meeting is now streaming live.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, Moto.
When I go to the YouTube link on my PlayStation and on my phone, it's the same like 10 seconds and then it stops.
Huh. I have mine muted, but it's coming up on my Mac. And it's going right along. So.
If it works with everyone else, that's fine by me.
And now I'm seeing the issue you're having, Evan.
It says one watching, and
Yeah.
we're all watching. So, oh well. Is there like a YouTube live that you can go to, or that is a live? Yeah.
Who else we have in the house, Brian?
Oh my, we are getting there. I'm just looking for new names here. M. Stevens, I'm assuming that's Mark Stevens. Hi, Mark. Oh, I see Joe Plock's lovely face and Laura's lovely face behind him.
Rob Weber is joining us.
Rob Weber.
There's a person named Steve. It could be Steve Maggio.
Screw that guy. I'm sure I speak for everybody who knows him that wouldn't tonight just be an awesome night for a Rob Weber hug? Wouldn't that be great?
So I just clicked in the top corner where it says live on YouTube.
Yeah.
I clicked that view stream on YouTube and it was working fine. So,
oh, great.
Yeah, now it's connected. There's going to be some sort of delay, and that's all right. But
yeah, mine's still,
Eileen
mine's still
Styler's here.
working.
Hi, Eileen. Thank you for joining us. Peter Caracappa is just signing in.
John Nichols.
That means Mary is with him. Hi, guys. Hi, Eileen. You look great.
Brian. I just came from a Theater Voices meeting. So
for those of you that don't know Eileen Schuyler, she's long-time facilitator of Theater Voices. I don't know what your actual role is. Is it president of Theater Voices?
I'm the president. Me.
Always the president. Don't steal his thunder.
Okay, all right, Tony, pump your brakes, brother.
Eileen,
but Eileen is our artistic director.
Oh.
Eileen's the one that reads 4,000 plays a year.
Yes.
Except this year, I'm finding it really hard to do.
Yeah.
It all seems so unreal. It's like swimming through Jello.
Well, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Who else is here? There's a John. John Nichols is here. Alex Perone has signed in. Welcome, Alex. Megan Ryan is here. Hi, Melissa and Gary. How are you?
John Quinnen is here.
JQ is in the house. For those of you that don't know, if you
Roseanne
can't
is
see the
here.
logo in the top of your screen there, we are for the first time ever streaming live on YouTube. And I think we have, David, correct me if I'm wrong, is it John Cribbs who helped us set that up?
Ellen. Well, no, Ellen and Mark. Mark,
that's okay.
Yeah.
So I've never met her husband. So
Claire was present too.
Claire was very helpful. Yes.
So thank you. You know, without Claire, nothing is possible. So thank you, Claire.
I just posted the YouTube link on the quarantine page and on my page.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. I love how people are, if you still have your videos on, that's fine right now. But what is really cool is that people are just signing on now and their video and audio is already off. It's like, they're like, we're ready, let's do it. It's really cool. For those of you who have not been here before,
is this better, Brian?
What's that, Alex? Please stop talking.
I said, is this better?
Please stop, for the love of God, Alex. This is kind of like our lobby. We're hanging out before the show, right? We kind of rib on each other for those of us who have closer relationships. For instance, if I could be next to George Filio, I would probably spit in his drink. No one knows if I mean that or if I'm just kidding, but I'm serious.
Jen is here. Hi, Jen.
Let's see. And here comes George to flip me off. There it is. Good job, George. Glad to see you, buddy. Who's down there? Jen Bullington, welcome. Diaka's back.
Diaka.
Welcome, Diaka.
Gary and Melissa.
Gary, Melissa, you guys are good looking. You know that? You know it.
Steph St. Germain.
Oh, great.
Roseanne is here.
Diaka has brought her child with her.
Yeah, I got the +1.
+1. That's fine. Just want to warn you, there's some adult themes in this show.
Hi, Steph.
She's not gonna be listening. Don't
All
worry.
right. Hey, I watched Officer and a Gentleman when I was 8, so I mean.
Yep.
You never recovered.
No.
Did you have the time of your life? No, wrong
did.
movie. Never mind.
Yes, exactly. I
Wrong
did
movie.
have it on laser.
Dirty Dancing.
Hi, Liz.
Yeah, you're right. I knew like 8 words into that sentence. I knew, but I was already
Remy's
committed.
joining us.
Nice.
Mike, Sylvia, Remy.
All right. You're seeing more people than me. That's great. Oh, because you're
Hi,
letting me
Remy.
into the room. Hi,
Hi,
Remy.
Michael.
Remy coming off the highest grossing week we've had thus far, right? boys?
Hello, my people here.
Hi, Elizabeth.
So David,
Yes.
I think instead of me recording it on Zoom,
Yeah.
it will automatically save on YouTube. So we'll just share the YouTube link.
Oh, okay. Oh, it does. I think you're right.
Brian Starnes, what's up, buddy?
When you gave me permission to record,
everybody.
that was when the first YouTube feed kind of glitched
Okay.
out. So let's just not even bother with it.
Great.
If you haven't already and you're not an actor in the show, you can start turning off your mics and your videos now because it is currently 8:31. So please start turning off your videos. It's lovely to see
Stacia's
you all.
here.
You're all very
Deb
attractive
is
people.
here.
By the way, Alex Perone, I don't need a response, but I've been waiting for like 2 years for a tune of myself. I'm just
Juliet is
throwing that out
here.
there.
Oh, went off
She
again.
was here.
What are you trying to do now?
Take me off of there, which I think I just did, but now I don't have.
Oh,
That's
Where are we?
That was super
Okay.
cute. I love that when that happens. Okay, well, boys, should I start?
Yes.
Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. There's 52 of you in the room. There's more of you because some of us are lucky enough not quarantine by ourselves. Welcome to Quarantine E-Theater and our 8th show. I, like John Krasinski, am not wearing pants. But
hey,
welcome to Theater Night in the Capital District. I'll be your host for the evening. My name's Brian Sheldon, and along with that handsome dude in the fedora and the mic on his face, David Rook, and that guy with the delicious mustache and perfectly coiffed hair, Evan Jones, we are Quarantine E-Theater. We started this, as most of you know, as a way to just read plays out loud.
Camera on?
Look at the crowd we have tonight.
We have look at that, a full house, David, full house. What happens? We read a play out loud. You hopefully really like it. And then afterwards, we have a Q&A with our playwright. This week's play is called Pandemic. It is written by the insanely talented Ellen Cribbs, who will wave at you now. Thank you, Ellen. She has written a doozy for you. And she really submitted 3 plays that would work, and we picked this one because A, it's good. All 3 were good. But the name was Pandemic. So we figured, why not? It was not written for our current pandemic, but things happen. We started this just to read plays, but we quickly realized before the first one that we should maybe take some responsibility for what's going on in our community. And we decided to raise money each week for a different not-for-profit community theater in the Capital Region area. We started off hoping that we would make a couple $100 here or there, and we have made thousands of dollars. That doesn't happen without you, and we thank you for that. We are currently up over $16,000 for community theater in the Capital Region. So we have, with your help, put together with some of these earnings, we're able to help pay for complete productions through some of these theater houses. And we are extremely honored that you keep coming back every week, that you keep giving what you can to each and every theater. This week's theater is Theater Voices. If you don't know about it, we'll bring Tony Pallone in just a second so he can tell you a little bit about what their mission is and what they do. But I just want to thank you again for being here. And Tony, if you can click your sound on for me. Tony Pallone is the president of Theater of Voices. Tony, your video can go on too.
Yeah.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Hi, great.
If you would just tell everybody who may not know what Theater Voices is and what you guys do. Go ahead. Talk.
Go for it.
Sorry, we're spilling drinks at the moment. So
Party foul.
So Theater Voices is an organization that's been in the Capital District for over 30 years, and our mission is to produce professionally oriented readings of so staged readings of a variety of plays. And we don't just have our notebooks on the music stands like you might in some stage readings, but they're actually fully rehearsed, and each reading is kind of a sort of a thumbnail sketch of what a full production might be. We've got blocking, we've got suggestions of set and costumes, and we use lighting, and we use other technical elements to create sort of a really unique stage reading experience. So we've been going strong for quite some time, and we are really thrilled that Ellen chose us as the beneficiary tonight. So thank you so very much for the help you've given to Theater Voices.
And Tony, if someone was a little wary to make an electronic contribution through our donation page, do you know an address off the top of your head or written down somewhere that you could say or put in the chat down there so people could send you checks and more money?
Sure. You can you find all the information, whether you want to do it online or via mail, right on our website, theatervoices.org, and I'll put that in the chat.
And speaking personally, I've worked on 2 shows with Theater Voices, being an actor in one, well, 3. Being an actor in one, I stage managed one, and I directed one. And it really is a different art form all in itself. You wouldn't think it was very difficult to do a staged reading, but it was very difficult. It's not just they're standing up there reading books. It is a very cool art form that they have created over there, and I love working with them. We love going to see the shows. For those of you that don't know, they don't charge tickets. It is a free theater, but they pay for their productions because rights for shows are not free. So anything that we can do for them will help.
We're at $1,145 raised so far.
That's
from
awesome.
52 online donors.
That is
So great, generous.
Evan, what's up?
It looks like theatervoices.com/support will have all the information you need.
.org actually. So let me
.org. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll put that in there as well. And I will say that we almost ran out of money last year and we're actually considering the first time in 3 decades closing our doors. And a lot of people, just like here tonight, really came out and helped us and supported us. So we are where we're at now, and couldn't be more grateful to the Capital Region Theater community.
And continue to do that. Continue to throw support at these guys. I know most of them personally. These are great artists who can use. They will pinch your penny. Trust me, they know how to save. They're doing great work. We're all doing great work. They need your help too. So continue to support them.
Thanks, guys.
Stay after the show. We're going to do a Q&A with Ellen Cribbs, and we'll announce next week's show, playwright and cast. Boys, we ready?
I'm ready.
Actors, ready?
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to QeT. Welcome to Theater Night in the Capital District. I'm psyched you're here. Hope you enjoy the show. We'll see you after it.
Pandemic by Ellen Cribbs. In the dark, sirens are heard, first distant, then slowly getting louder until they start fading out. As the sirens start to fade, radio static is heard. The static slowly turns into a cluttered radio announcement. The radio signal is not strong enough to hold the announcement as another radio station overlaps the first announcement heard. Eventually, more radio stations overlap, so that the different announcements are overwhelmed by vocal clutter. Few words are caught in the scrambled radio messages. No one knows. Horrifying events. Some people unlocked their being secure public buildings. So far, new information has been death rate Monday, but the crisis stay inside. Phone lines have police advised to avoid every day at a time of crisis. Lights come up on an interior of a small first grade classroom. The room is filled with colorful student work and teaching tools. However, the room evokes a baffling sense of despair as the room is void of life. There is a long window with the shades drawn in the back of the room. A man in his 30s stands by the window, peeking out the shades while holding a shotgun. This is Richard. There are a few small round tables in the room, pushed back to barricade the windows and clear more space in the center of the room. Child-sized chairs are strewn about. The door to the room stands stage left. There is a normal-sized teacher's chair next to the door. A small bookshelf sits in the back of the room, containing children's books, puzzles, and games. The walls are covered in sheets of construction paper where children have glued gummy bears in the form of a letter B. A teenage girl sits stage right, hugging herself with a blank stare. This is Anna. Two men sit center stage with a game of Guess Who lying in front of them. One, an 18-year-old, looks intently at his board. This is Kyle. The other man is in his early 30s and lies back comfortably on the floor. He is obviously the most relaxed person in the room. This is Jerry.
Okay. Does your person own an SUV?
No.
Kyle flips one of his Guess Who tiles down.
Is your person a vegetarian?
Totally.
Jerry flips some of his Guess Who tiles down.
Did your person have an intense fear of clowns as a child?
Oh yeah.
Kyle flips some of his Guess Who tiles down.
Would your person consider running for governor?
For which state?
Any of them.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But that's not a definite yes, right?
Well, I mean, they might.
Yeah, but not definitely. I mean, because Charles would run for governor in a heartbeat.
Right. I mean, not as likely a candidate as someone like Charles, but a wild card maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Now, is your person...
Oh, wait, hold on. The question is, would this guy want to be governor? Nah. Okay.
Jerry pushes the tile down.
What the hell are you two doing?
Haven't you heard of Guess Who?
I've heard of Guess Who. I've never heard of what you're playing.
Well, it's the psychological version. Well, instead of figuring out who they are by how they look, you figure out who they are by what kind of people you think they are.
What?
Well, it was Jerry's idea.
You know, the game's just too easy the real way. What's the first question you always ask in this game?
Why are we playing a 2-year-old's game?
Is your person a girl?
If it is, you're so screwed.
That's right, because the next question is your person wearing a hat?
Oh, the worst.
If yes, then the dreaded, does your person wear glasses?
Claire.
Bingo! The damn old maid is the most obvious person in the whole game.
It's never fair to get Claire.
It really isn't.
You're both sick.
Just adding a little challenge to the game.
I can't believe you're playing a child's game right now. It's disgusting.
You have to get your mind off things. Like, I was once stuck in a storm shelter for 10 hours with my family growing up in Kansas, and knowing that any moment our house could be destroyed. And you know what we did?
Played Guess Who?
Played charades. After the 5th hour, we couldn't think of anything else to act out. And with our distraction falling apart, everyone starts losing their nerves. So we started making stuff up. We had to act out crazy little made up titles like Attack of the Ziggledidoids. And it might have been childish, but it was better than thinking about death. Kyle, you got a question or what?
Yeah. Is your person allergic to peanuts?
Yeah.
Kyle knocks down several tiles, leaving only one.
Oh, who have you got?
Is it Robert?
Yeah,
Robert's totally allergic to peanuts.
totally.
Completely childish.
What's that, Dick?
My name's not Dick, it's Richard.
Same thing.
Why is Dick a nickname for Richard?
No, the kid's got a point. Why is that, Dick?
Well, I mean, I can see most nicknames. I mean, Joe, Joseph, Matt, Matthew, Pete, Peter, Dick, Richard. I just don't hear it. I don't blame you for not using it.
Still, you got to have some nickname. What do people call you for short? They can't call you Richard all the time.
Why not?
It's too long.
It's not all that long.
Well, 3 syllables.
2.
2.
Richard.
Richard. Huh. Well, still too long. Still long.
Jerry's 2 syllables.
So?
So if your name's not too long, why is his too long?
His is a longer 2 syllables.
That's impossible.
No, it's not.
No, you can't have longer syllables. Syllables are all the same length.
Nah.
No, that's why they're syllables.
No, you can't tell me Richard and Jerry are the same length.
But they are. I mean, can't you hear it?
You're not the one listening. Listen. Richard. Jerry.
Well, well, when you say it like that,
Well, like what? That's the way you say it.
no, listen, Richard, Jerry.
Still sounds longer.
No, it doesn't, man.
You're in denial, my young friend.
No, listen.
Look, I'm listening, and I still say one's longer. Richard. Jerry.
Jerry, Richard,
Exactly.
Richard, Jerry. I mean, count the seconds it takes to say them.
Jerry. Richard. There's no way you'll convince me that they're...
Rich!
What's that, Dick?
Rich! I'm called Rich. 1 syllable. Shut up.
Well, now my name sounds long. Rich. Jerry. But hey, I guess no longer than yours, Kyle. Jerry, Kyle, Rich. Now it sounds too short, right? Hey girl, what about you, darling? What's your name? Well, no, I thought it might work. You're still not talking, huh? Now, no one's talking, apparently.
About time.
Have a thing against talking?
Typically, no. Now is not the time.
They don't have super sensitive hearing, you know.
Oh yeah. And how do you know that?
Well, if they did, they'd have been here long ago based on how loud you snore.
What if they don't have ears?
What?
Well, some of them probably don't have ears, right? Like, what happens if they don't have them? Can they still hear?
No, I'm not all that sure they hear anyway.
Of course they can hear.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. I feel like they have some kind of sixth sense.
Oh, like a tracking device?
Sure.
Or maybe they can smell better. You know, they have a greater sense of smell.
Yeah, but what about the ones without a nose?
Oh, yeah.
You know, standing by that door isn't going to make them come back any sooner. I'm talking to you, Dick.
If you keep this up, I'll make you leave.
Keep what up?
You're driving everyone crazy.
Driving everyone crazy? Kyle, am I driving you crazy?
No.
What about you, darling? Am I driving you crazy? Well, we've got a no and a no response. I'd say you're the minority. Rich. Maybe you're the one driving people crazy. What do you think, Kyle?
Hey, I really think this isn't helping the situation. I think we all just need to chill out.
Good idea. Let's try this thing out.
Jerry moves over to the radio.
You know that's not going to work. There hasn't been anything for 2 days.
Well, if something did come on the air, I guess you'd be the last to know.
Do you think they'll make an announcement if they figure anything out?
Who?
I don't know, like the government?
The government?
Well, you know what I mean. Whoever works this kind of stuff out.
Look, I don't think they have designated people assigned to figure this kind of stuff out.
What about the military? I mean, there's got to be someone doing something, making weapons or forming an army, calling for help. I mean, we don't even know if this is just happening in this town or this state or this country. I mean, Maybe people 100 miles away have no idea what's going on here. Maybe all we have to do is find a car and drive as far away as we can get, and everything will be great.
Yeah,
What?
not that I don't appreciate your optimism. It's refreshing, really, but do you really think this is local?
Why couldn't it be?
Have you tried to contact anyone through all this?
Well, yeah.
Have any luck getting through to them?
Okay, point taken. But what about TV? I mean, did anyone check to see if there's any news?
Well, I did have access to a TV yesterday, but there was a Gilligan's Island marathon on, so I didn't bother to check CNN. See? No response. You all need to relax. Take a joke.
Jerry turns on the radio. Static. He switches through the channels and finally gets some salsa music.
Oh, all right, here we go.
Turn that off.
Is that a local station?
It sounds like it's the music they loop overnight. This has probably been playing for 72 hours, but hey, it's a catchy tune nonetheless. Anyone want to dance?
Turn that off. If any of them are around, I'm not going to be done in by salsa music.
Jerry switches through the station again and gets nothing, so he turns the radio off.
All right.
He moves to the shelves.
What else have we got here?
Well, looks like some kind of memory game, some blocks, and a giant rainforest puzzle that consists of about 12 pieces.
We should really move to another classroom. First grade is killing me here.
Seriously, 5th grade might have been a better reading selection. I mean, I don't know how many times I can read Frog and Toad.
Well, let's pull out this puzzle. It'll keep us occupied for at least 5 minutes.
Maybe we should do it blindfolded.
Oh, now there's an idea. I like the way you think.
Okay, get it out. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Kyle moves to the door. Rich stands in the way.
Oh, you're not going anywhere.
What?
Sorry, but you have to wait
Wait?
till they come back and we can organize a group.
Listen, I didn't say anything for a while because I thought they'd be back an hour ago, but I really have to go.
You're going to have to hold it.
No, that's what I'm telling you. I have held it.
Well, hold it some more.
Hey, Dick, you've been looking out that window all day. You haven't seen anything, right?
That doesn't matter. He needs protection.
Well, then let him borrow your gun.
And leave us without anything.
No one will show up.
Easy to say, but just imagine if one of them does show up. God forbid this happens, but what if Kyle doesn't make it back? We're as good as dead.
Well, you could handle them, right, Kyle?
He hasn't even seen one.
He's young. He'll be fine.
I'm not risking it.
Look, I don't need a gun. The bathroom is just around the corner. If I see anything, I'll yell and you can take care of them, okay?
We should really wait until they come back.
What if they don't come back?
Jerry,
What? I'm just saying what's on everyone's mind.
I'll be in and out really quick, okay?
Be as quiet as you can.
Okay, I'll be right back. Wait, I just want to check. They don't use the bathroom, right?
What?
I mean, you don't think,
No, Kyle. I don't think you're going to walk in on a zombie at the urinal.
I told you not to call them that.
What, urinals?
Don't be stupid. We don't know what these people are.
People?
Yes, people. And until we know what's happened to them, don't call them.
I'm sorry, Dick. What do you want me to call them? Special people?
Hey, look, I'm serious. There aren't going to be any in there, right?
Do they even digest?
Here we go.
I mean, just really think about it. All they do is eat, and they have to do something, or you would have a whole bunch of fat zombies stumbling around. Oh, sorry. A whole bunch of fat dead people who do nothing but eat living people stumbling around. God forbid we call them zombies.
Is that seriously what they do?
What?
Eat people? Is that what zombies really do?
Does Dracula drink blood?
Well, I mean,
You're not serious, are you?
no, but I mean that's what all the movies have them doing. But I mean, those are stories. Now they're like alive.
No, actually, they're dead.
No, but you know what I mean. They walk, they move, they're alive.
Well, dead alive.
Dead alive? No, that makes no sense. Isn't that a automata? No, wait, an auto.
Oxymoron.
Takes one to know one.
Are you for?
The room must be rubbing off on me.
What the hell are you two talking about? Look, I just want to know more about these things before I go to the bathroom.
As far as we know, they act on primal instincts.
Is digestion primal?
Going to an actual bathroom isn't. Potty training, you know?
Yeah, but what if they just do things they remember? Like go places they're used to going to when they were alive?
You've watched too many movies. Will you just go to the damn bathroom?
It's okay. I've got your back.
Okay. But you won't shoot me in the back, right? I mean, sorry, no, of course you wouldn't. You wouldn't confuse me for one of those things, right? Unless I'm like moaning and dragging my feet or something.
I've got you, Kyle.
Kyle opens the door, looks down the hall, and walks out. Rich closes the door behind him, watching the hall through the glass in the door.
Poor kid. You know, as scary as it is to see one, I think it might be worse to have not seen one yet. Fear of the unexpected, you know?
If anything happens to him, I'm holding you responsible.
I thought it was always the leader to blame.
I'm not the leader.
Well, ever since I arrived, you've done nothing but tell people what to do.
We need order, not jokes.
And that is where you fail again. Look, I'm not criticizing you. I'm really not. But you have to ease up. Now, Kyle was fine until you had to get all serious.
So what do you suggest? We all play games until they take us by surprise?
Have you seen how slow they walk? No need for high alert, you know?
You can't just escape reality by telling jokes.
Escape reality? Who's the one that won't call them zombies?
That's because they're not.
They're not what?
What? What?
See? Yeah, you can't even say the word.
Of course I can.
Makes it a lot easier calling them people, doesn't it? We know people. We know how to handle people who get out of control. We know how to fight other people. But these things, Rich, these aren't people.
Never mind. It's pointless to have a logical conversation with you. I'd have a better chance talking to her.
You know, she can hear you, you know?
And why hasn't she said anything?
No, she doesn't have to. It's a free country. She has the right to remain silent and all that other mumbo jumbo.
How are you supposed to trust someone who won't even tell you her name?
Look, I've seen some horrible stuff in the past 2 days, and I'm sure you've seen some stuff you'd like to forget too. But I have a feeling what we've seen and been through I can't even compare to what she's seen.
Being silent about it isn't really helping anyone, is it? She may know something. She might have seen something that can help us.
Look, just leave her alone. She doesn't have to say anything. I'm sure if she had something important to say, she would have said it by now.
No, she really...
Weren't you lecturing me on being quiet just a minute ago?
Rich stares out the glass section of the door.
Is he out there?
No sign of him yet. This is taking too long.
I agree. I want to get started on this puzzle.
I'm gonna go check on him.
Whoa there, Speedy. This is Kyle. If there's anything out there, you'd hear it.
How long have you known Kyle?
About 20 hours or so.
Then how do you know how he'll react?
He's a textbook phobic. Just one look and you can tell.
Jerry holds up his Guess Who card.
Just like Robert here. It's written all over his face. Scared of everything. Allergic to peanuts.
Didn't anyone ever tell you not to judge a book by its cover?
Book, sure. People, transparent as glass.
So, Jerry, what about me? Who am I in your little Guess Who game?
Oh, you're a Maria. Always taking charge, always making yourself the center of attention, always making orders, though maybe not as pretty.
Well, there's nothing wrong with trying to organize things.
Right. But the question is, when the organizer gets out of line, how do you solve a problem like Maria?
Cute. And I suppose you're the most redeemable character in the game.
Oh no, no, none of these people are very redeemable. I'm more of a Franz. No one can really describe Franz. He's kind of he goes a lot of ways. He's calm but quirky, and at times can be quite sophisticated.
Says the man who plays a 5-year-old's game.
Says the psychologist.
What? You?
Yep.
Who plays psychological guess who?
Hey, yep. There's a lot of downtime between patients.
There is a high-pitched scream from the hall.
Did Kyle have a sex change in the bathroom?
That's Sharon.
Rich runs out the door.
No, wait.
Jerry goes to the door to look out. There are 2 shotgun shots heard off stage. Kyle and Maggie run into the room out of breath.
You're not Sharon.
Rich enters, closes the door quickly, and holds up his gun to Maggie.
No, she's not Sharon.
Who are you?
Did you get him?
Who are you?
Rich.
Stop pointing that gun at me. Did you get him?
Yes. Now who are you?
Are you sure? You shot him in the head. You saw him fall. He wasn't moving.
Yes. Who are you?
Is there a broken record in here?
Put that down.
Tell me your name.
My name is Maggie, for God's sake. And will you get that gun out of my face?
Why are you here?
I thought it would be safe. Obviously not.
She came out of nowhere. I was walking out of the bathroom and she was right there. She scared me half to death, screamed in my ear too.
Did he follow you here?
Who?
The man in the hall.
There was a man in the hall?
If you can call it a man.
You didn't see the zombie in the hall?
Sorry, I was busy having my ear screamed into. She ran this way and I followed her.
Did he follow you here?
If you put that down, I'll tell you.
No, she's right. It's not very nice to shove a gun in our guest's face.
As far as I can see, she's a threat, not a guest.
A threat? I warned you all there was a zombie headed right for your door. This guy would have been dead if it weren't for me.
Wait, is that true?
No, I would have seen him coming and you would have been fine.
Seen him coming? The hall's around the corner. Do you have x-ray vision?
Was this zombie guy seriously close to me?
Yes.
No, and he wouldn't have even been here if he wasn't attracted.
Well, I agree she's cute, but I don't think zombies feel attraction, Dick.
Shut up, Jerry.
He was already in the school.
What?
He was already in the school. I work here. I thought it might be safe, but as soon as I opened the doors, there he was. He was already here and he was heading right this way.
Shit. Then you really did save my life.
Kyle grabs Maggie in a tight bear hug.
Can someone get him off me?
Down, cowboy.
Jerry releases Maggie and Rich lowers his gun.
Okay. Why doesn't everyone just calm down?
Calm down. You're the one leading an interrogation with a shotgun.
All right. Now that we've figured out the hallway zombie mystery, let's all take a seat. There's still a puzzle to be done here.
I almost died. I almost died going to the bathroom.
Hey, all that matters is you're all right, okay?
But, I mean, are there more out there? I mean, is this place safe?
It's fine. We're safe.
No, that's not what she said. I mean, maybe there are more out there. Is this door strong enough? Can they open doors or push? If they push enough, they're as good as in, right? And what do we have to fight them off?
Calm down there, Robert.
What?
Sit down.
Why did he call me Robert?
Look, Kyle, maybe you should sit down.
Sit down. We have to barricade the door or something.
Look, if it's any consolation, I only saw the one.
And I took care of him. He's not coming back.
But don't they flock?
The who and the what now?
Flock, where one goes, others follow.
It doesn't really work that way.
Well, then how does it work?
Yes, please enlighten us, Dick.
If there's only one, then it's okay. They start out on their own. You have to start worrying when you see a couple together. They start traveling in packs. On their own, they're not a threat. As a group, you better run. If you're touched, you're good as dead.
Sounds like you've had a few encounters too.
2?
Let's just say the past 2 days are pretty much last on my list of favorite days.
Oh, they made your list of favorite days?
Well, no, it was just a figure of speech.
Don't mind Jerry. I've known him for a day, and as far as I can gather, he makes a living driving people insane.
Just the people who aren't insane already.
Jerry, is it?
Yes, Maggie, right?
Yeah.
And you've met Kyle. And this, well, we don't know who she is really. It's a long story. And the man with the shotgun.
Rich.
I thought it was Dick.
That's a long story too.
Wait. Rich said if you're touched, you're as good as dead. He's not serious, right? I mean, that's just how it is in movies, yeah?
Yeah, nothing to worry about, kid.
I've seen it, Jerry. The infection can spread with just a touch.
Infection? What, is it a disease?
Well, no one really knows what it is.
No, but if it's a disease, there's got to be a cure, right?
No.
Well, sure, all diseases have cures.
How's that cure for cancer coming, Kyle?
It's not a disease.
And even if it was, what's the use of a cure? You'd already be dead. You'd have to hunt them down, inject them with the cure, and they just fall down dead. Might as well just shoot them in the head.
But a cure for people who are infected and haven't died, turned into one yet?
I wouldn't get my hopes up, kid.
So, how long have you been here?
We got here yesterday.
Where were you before then?
Question is more like where I haven't been. I haven't stayed in the same place for more than a few hours at a time.
I know the feeling.
Even before I heard the news, my apartment building was attacked. Somehow I got out and found my way to my sister's. We tried a couple places that were in shambles and finally ended up at a church, but it was swamped. I mean, there were people pressed against the walls, parents holding up their children so they wouldn't be crushed. No one could even kneel to pray. And they had nothing. No weapons, no one keeping them calm. They were so packed in, they couldn't even go anywhere, and if they were attacked. We tried to talk some people into leaving, but only one guy listened to us, this guy named Dave. And as we were leaving, we saw this wall of creatures heading toward the church. We killed off a few, but we realized there was nothing we could do. We were just people. And the way those people were packed in the church, it must have been a massacre.
So much for sanctuary, right?
We thought about where else might be safe, a public place. Dave suggested the school. On the way, we ran into these two, and when we got here, Kyle joined us.
Well, my house is right next door. I was locked inside the whole time and heard the first few radio announcements until they stopped, but my parents are out of town, and so I just stayed on the lookout. Never saw anything until this group came along. And I gotta say, thank God for these guys. I don't know how much longer I could have stayed cooped up, not really knowing what was going on. Of course, I have no idea where my parents are or if they're even safe.
Well, this is depressing. Hey, what about you? What were you? You attacked, fighting off zombies, got separated from who? Your husband, boyfriend?
Are you seriously trying to hit on me by asking if I have a boyfriend who was eaten alive by zombies?
Yeah.
As I said, ignore him. You might say he has a problem with manners.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he doesn't have any.
Hey, manners do not a zombie killer make.
And what about the rest of your group? Did they make it?
This morning we realized we had no supplies, no food, and maybe more importantly, we're running low on ammo. To be fair, we put all our names in a box to see who would go out looking for stuff. We drew 2 names.
Sharon and Dave went
4 hours ago. But hey, maybe there's a long line at the store.
God, Jerry!
Look, the truth is, they should have been back by now.
Your sister, what did she look like?
Why?
Just curious.
Oh my God, you saw her.
I didn't say that.
You saw Sharon?
Look, I've seen a lot of people.
Right, but around the area.
I don't know. I saw a person or two.
What about Dave?
No,
Okay, look, Sharon's about 5'5", maybe, long, straight brown hair.
Was she wearing a green shirt?
Yes. Right, guys?
Yeah, she was with jeans, right?
Oh my God. Where is she? Where did you see her?
Look, I don't want to say anything that's not true. I only saw her for a second, so
Maggie, please. Please. What did you see?
I was running in this direction, and about 3 blocks away, I heard it.
The infamous groan.
Yeah.
Oh God. Is Sharon?
I don't know. I had to make sure they didn't see me so they wouldn't follow me. And I didn't have anything to protect myself. And from the sound of it, there were a whole group of them. When I turned the corner, I saw this girl carrying a bag.
Sharon.
Maybe. I mean, it sounds like her, but I couldn't know for certain.
What happened?
I was about to call to her, to warn her. But just then, this noise, it was so inhuman. I've heard it before. It's like a call, a hunting call. And they all started moving towards her. They were everywhere. They had her surrounded. There was nothing I could do, so I ran.
Why didn't you help her?
There was nothing I could do.
No, of course there was something you could do. Why didn't you run to her or yell or something, anything?
Listen, you weren't there. You have no idea. You haven't dealt with these things.
No, maybe I haven't, but I know I wouldn't just leave someone.
Kyle, calm down.
No, don't tell me to calm down. She could have helped Sharon and Dave.
I didn't even see Dave. And trust me, if there was any way to help Sharon, I would have.
No, if you would have done something, she would be safe now.
No, she wouldn't have.
Rich, you of all people should be furious. She was your sister.
And she still is. We don't know what happened to her.
You really don't think she could have survived that?
I don't know.
Well, she could have survived if...
Don't say it, Kyle. Maggie's right. There's nothing she could do.
Sorry.
Sorry? Rich, you're not just gonna let her...
I would have done the same thing.
But... your sister...
Leave it, Kyle.
I don't understand any of you.
It's a game of survival, kid. The rules are all twisted.
No, this isn't one of your games, Jerry.
Everything in life is a game, Kyle. The real problem is when people stop seeing it that way and start forgetting there are strategies and choices involved.
So what happens when this game ends, huh?
Simple. You die. Now, look, we don't really know what happened to Sharon and Dave. So all we can do is wait and see. In the meantime, I'm going to forget about them. I'm going to forget about those things out there, and I'm going to do my puzzle.
Glad I know I can count on you if we're under attack.
And I'm glad to know you're above sarcasm.
I am sorry about Sharon. I mean, it's one thing to leave a person like that. It's another finding out who that person was.
Until I know for sure my sister is alive.
And so is my stomach. I'm starving.
How can you eat at a time like this?
Well, here's an idea, Kyle. Let's not eat until we look like walking skeletons. And when the zombies come, we'll be so thin that we won't be appetizing at all. And we'll have the last laugh. Sound good?
Well, do you think that might work?
You're a piece of work, kid.
There's no food left, Jerry.
What happened to the rest of those cheese balls?
You ate the last of them.
That was it? I thought there were a few left.
There were. Then you ate them.
Sharon and Dave were supposed to bring back food.
Maggie, you said you work here, right? There's got to be more snacks hidden around here somewhere.
First grade doesn't have snack on a daily basis, so there wouldn't be all that much in here.
All right, that's it. We're hitting kindergarten.
There's no one is going anywhere.
Oh, come on.
We sent Kyle to the bathroom, and he couldn't even handle that.
I handled it.
I'm not Kyle, so what's the issue?
The issue is we still only have one gun and 5 people to protect. No one is going to be left alone without the gun.
Then we'll all go. Field trip.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
No one is.
So then what are we going to do for food?
Wait and see if Sharon or Dave gets back. If they're not here in an hour, we'll think of something.
All right.
Jerry looks around the room and notices the gummy bear bee papers on the wall.
Hey.
Oh, come on, you can't be serious.
When I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Why are these gummies lined up in a B anyway?
The B is for bear.
Bear?
Oh, gummy bears. I get it. Should really be GB. You don't just call these bears. I mean, if a kid asked me to eat some bears, I'd have to sit him down for a serious talk.
That's funny.
What?
The thought of you being serious.
Oh yeah. It's pretty hilarious being serious, as Dick has shown us time and time again over the past several hours. Hey, Mags.
It's Maggie.
No, you've got to have a nickname. We can't have Rich being the only one-syllable name in the group, now can we?
You've all had a lot of time on your hands, haven't you?
Oodles. So, how do the kiddies attach these to the paper?
Glue?
Non-toxic, right?
You're not going to eat those.
Why not?
Yes, it's non-toxic glue, but I can't vouch for the kids.
The kids are toxic?
You'd be surprised. I guess that at least half of those have been in some kid's mouth while they made those things, or they've been on the floor. Have the kids germs, you name it.
I think I'll take my chances.
Jerry sits and starts to pull the gummy bears off the paper.
I'm just saying you might regret that in an hour or less.
So, you work here?
Yeah, I'm a kindergarten teacher. What?
What?
What was that laugh for?
What laugh?
That laugh.
I didn't laugh.
Like that.
What? Like what? I didn't laugh.
Yeah, you did, Dick. She caught you big time.
I didn't laugh.
That smile says otherwise.
Well, it's just from what I know of you. I mean, granted, that's not long at all, but you just don't seem like a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
I don't know. You're just,
What?
you seem tougher than what a kindergarten teacher would be like.
You haven't been around a lot of kids, have you?
No. Well, not for several years, that is.
So I'm too tough. Is that what you're saying?
No, just authoritative, I guess. Look, okay, sorry. It was just a first impression.
I'm a strong believer in first impressions.
Better look out, Rich. She's a Richard on the verge of a Bernard.
What?
It's a long story.
Seems like there's a lot of long stories between you two. How long have you known each other?
At least 24 hours too long.
And what do you do for a living, Rich?
I'm an accountant.
Hmm.
What does that mean?
What?
That,
Nothing. It was just a
just a
Yep.
Oh, well, there are hms and there are hms.
It was just a, that's interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. Or that's interesting.
You just seem more adventurous than I would imagine an accountant would be like.
More adventurous, huh?
Well, do all accountants carry shotguns?
Depends on who your client is.
But really, where did the gun come from?
It's Dave's. He had two, so he took the rifle and left us with the shotgun.
We never found out what Dave did for a living.
Jerry takes a bite out of opposite ends of two gummy bears and fuses them together.
What are you doing?
Check it out. Zombie gummy bears.
God, he's worse than my kids.
So what's it like being a teacher?
Basically the same as being a sheepdog, herding cattle.
So are you a big fan of kids?
Sometimes. But no, I went into teaching because, okay, well, I used to substitute on and off before I got my degree. And I don't know, there was this one day where I was out at recess with the kids and I saw this little boy standing by himself. And there was this group of kids playing jump rope with one of those long jump ropes. You know, the one where two kids hold the end and one jumps in the middle?
Yeah.
So this little boy, I don't even know what his name was, but he was just staring at them. And you could tell he wanted to jump over that rope. So I took his hand and I brought him over and got in the middle with him so we could jump together. First try, The boy jumped too soon. Second try, the boy jumped too late. Third try, the boy didn't jump high enough, but he kept trying, and finally he jumped. He made it over once, just once. That's all that mattered. As soon as he jumped once, he went running around the playground like a champion. I mean, you could almost hear the Rocky music in the background. And the other kids started cheering him on, and it was amazing to see how such a simple thing could make someone so happy. And I wanted to be a part of that every day. But now I can't help thinking about that boy. I doubt there's any way he'd have survived this.
Have you had to fight a lot of those things?
I started in a group of 7.
And now?
Now? Just me.
Woo! That puzzle was harder than it looked.
And what's your story, huh?
Well, I was born on an unseasonably cold autumn's morning in Kansas.
Jerry, can you be serious for one damn minute?
Jeez, kid. You know, you were a lot more fun an hour ago.
No, this is no time for fun. I mean, people are missing. Hell, people are dying.
Kyle, it's okay. Relax. Jerry, leave him alone.
I was just trying to get his mind off things. The boy is on the verge of a panic attack.
Jerry.
You don't know what's best for me. You act like none of this is even happening.
See, I told you this is what happens. You stay serious all the time. You get antsy and hostile. Fine. You know what? You want to know what I've been through? I watched my best friend get eaten alive. I had to run 5 miles to get away from those things. I stumbled upon another group being attacked, had to fight off about 20 of them, and only to find 5 mutilated bodies and this poor girl who won't even tell us her name. And now I have to deal with a group where one person is traumatized, one is paranoid, and one has a self-righteous complex and thinks he's some born leader. Lucky for us, we have our very own Cyclops.
What?
Leader of the X-Men. No one likes Cyclops.
I've made my point.
I like Cyclops.
At least he's not pretending like nothing
Wait.
happening. He's trying.
Wait.
What?
Do you hear that?
Kyle's whining? Yeah.
No, seriously, listen.
Sound of feet shuffling from hall.
Rich, gun.
Rich grabs a gun and goes to the door. Anna starts breathing heavy. Kyle sits by her and tries to quiet her. There is a knock on the door.
Oh, well, at least they're polite.
Rich?
Sharon?
Let me in!
Rich is about to open the door, but Maggie stops him.
What are you doing?
Look, I didn't tell you everything.
What do you mean?
When I saw her on the street, she wasn't just surrounded, she was being attacked.
What?
I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. I didn't want to.
Rich!
Look, I saw her being bitten.
Rich, let me in!
Wait, what?
Bitten? But doesn't that mean she...
I'm sorry, Rich. She is a threat to everyone in this room.
Rich!
Sharon? Are you all right?
No! Please let me in!
What's wrong, Sharon?
Dave and I got separated. We didn't see them coming. Then they were everywhere. We ran, but God, Rich, they went after Dave, and so I ran away. But they were all over. I finally got away, but one of them grabbed my arm. I need help. Let me in.
Let her in, Rich.
Rich, she's infected.
Infected? I thought this wasn't a disease. We had that discussion, right?
Rich, what's going on?
She needs help, Rich.
I don't know, Dick.
Shut up! All of you. Listen, Sharon. How bad is that bite?
Pretty bad. I'm starting to feel faint.
She's your sister.
I know she's my sister, Kyle.
If you let her in, there is no telling when she'll change.
Why are we listening to her? She's been here, what, 5 minutes?
Saved your life, didn't I?
I don't know.
I'm sorry all this is happening, Rich, but you have to listen. I've seen this happen. A guy in our group was bitten. We didn't do anything. 3 hours later, he killed people in our group, and I had to bash his head in with a baseball bat.
Rich?
Sharon. God, I never should have let you go. Sharon? Sharon!
Where'd she go?
I don't think she went anywhere, kid.
Sharon!
Rich, I'm sorry.
What do we do now?
I don't want to be the one to say it, but I know no one else here will. You know, the fact is, we're going to see that girl again, and not in the same fashion that everybody wants to see her.
Could you not? Right now?
Hey, I'm truly sorry for your loss, Rich, but if we don't act fast, your sister is going to try to get in that door and possibly warn others that we're here.
Give him a minute, okay?
Well, you seem to be the expert. Will Sharon, turn?
If they don't change over right away, we should still have.
Suddenly, the big window along the wall shatters and a hand reaches into the room. Everyone falls on the floor. Anna screams hysterically. The hand disappears. Rich looks out the window carefully. The zombie outside groans.
He's right outside.
Others are gonna know he's here.
Flocking, right? This is the flocking thing.
I'm going out.
Whoa, Cyclops.
Rich, you can't. You don't know how many are out there.
I'll take my chances. If he attracts others, we're all dead.
Rich opens the door. Sharon's body, which was leaning against the door, falls on the floor. Everyone stumbles back as Anna screams.
We'll take care of her.
Rich, be careful.
Rich goes out the door.
Yeah, let's just ignore the corpse in the doorway. That's a good idea.
We need to keep her quiet.
Yeah, go figure. Won't say a word all day, then won't shut up the moment we need her to.
Kyle, help me here.
Look, we should take care of this soon-to-be zombie, don't you think?
Don't touch her. You can't get any blood on you. It's too dangerous. Calm down. It's okay. Hang on.
Maybe we can find something to give her a shove.
Here's a chair.
Kyle gives Jerry a small child's chair.
Kyle, this thing is like 6 centimeters across.
It's first grade.
I knew we should have moved to 5th grade.
She's blocking the only big chair in the room, and I'm not going near her.
Just use it.
Jerry moves towards Sharon's corpse.
Sorry, Sharon.
Suddenly, Sharon's hand grabs the chair without the rest of her body moving. Jerry stumbles back, letting go of the chair. Anna curls up in a ball.
Holy shit!
Jerry, get back.
Maggie grabs another chair and holds it in front of her for protection. Zombie Sharon slowly stands, revealing her torn flesh around her face. She is still holding the chair.
Oh my God.
Kyle, are there any other blunt objects in the room?
Any what?
Why didn't you ask me?
Blunt objects, anything that can do damage.
I would be the better one to ask.
Shut up, Jerry.
Here.
Kyle hands Maggie a thin paperback children's book.
What the hell is this?
An object.
I told you.
Blunt, something that can do damage.
Paper cuts.
What?
Well, that would certainly be an entertaining fight.
There's nothing in here. It's first grade, not an arsenal.
Okay, grab chairs.
Jerry and Kyle grab chairs. Sharon continues walking towards them, groaning.
Okay, so, what's the plan here?
Right, we need to get her out of the room.
How do we do that?
No, maybe she'll sit down in the chair and we can just slide her out.
I don't think she's gonna sit down. I mean, maybe if she realizes who we are, she won't attack us.
How do you communicate with a zombie? Yeah, that doesn't work so much.
I wasn't doing anything.
Okay, on the count of 3, we run towards her, pushing her hard.
Are you sure this will work?
Sure.
That sounds convincing.
Wait.
Okay, 1.
No, are you sure?
2.
Just do it, Kyle.
3.
Maggie, Kyle, and Jerry run towards Sharon, pushing her out the door with the chairs. Maggie, Jerry, and Kyle run back into the room, ready to close the door.
Wait, what about Rich?
It's his sister. I'm sure they'll want to have a heart-to-heart.
Duck!
What?
Duck!
Maggie grabs Kyle and Jerry and pulls them down. A shotgun shot is heard off stage. Sharon's body falls off stage, exposing her bloody head in the doorway. Some blood blows off Sharon's head and lands on Kyle.
Hell with the heart-to-heart, more like shotgun head to shotgun.
Oh my God. Get it off. Get it off.
Don't worry, just wipe it off.
No, but the blood, right? Didn't you say you can't get their blood on you?
You'll be okay. There's barely any on you.
Kyle frantically wipes off the blood. Rich enters slowly, looking at Sharon. He exits again and starts to drag her body out the doorway, leaving a trail of blood. He re-enters and closes the door, dead to the world.
You okay?
Just fine. Just had to take care of not 1, but 2 outside. Then shoot my sister in the head with a shotgun.
Rich, it wasn't your sister anymore.
Jerry, is there any more on me?
Well, you got a little spot right by your mouth.
Shit! Help me! Get it off me!
Chill out. There's nothing there.
Damn it, Jerry!
You should have seen your face.
Why are you laughing? Damn it, don't you see? I just lost my sister. The one person I had to protect the most, the one person who counted on me. I left her outside alone and terrified, and you laugh? My baby sister turns into one of them, a thing stripped of a soul, and you're cracking jokes?
Maybe it was for the best. Honestly, I think there's already too many high-strung people in this room, and I'm sure your sister wouldn't have helped that situation. Frankly, I can only take one of you.
You bastard!
Rich.
Stop! Stop! Don't touch him! Get away!
What the?
Hey, calm down.
Get off him! Don't touch him! He's infected.
What?
He's infected! Don't touch him. You'll get infected, and you'll turn into one of them. One of those things. And you'll start killing everyone!
Whoa, what?
Calm down. What are you talking
My
about?
name is Anna. My family was under attack when he came along. He fought off a few, but I saw him get bitten. I swear. Look at his arm.
Is this that important information you said she would come out with hours ago?
I'm sorry I didn't say anything. I just want it to end. All this. I just want it to end.
It's all right.
Look at his arm. I swear, he's bitten. Look!
No need. Yeah, I was bitten, all right? But look, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Were you here when I had to leave my sister outside? My sister? Someone I love? What makes you think it doesn't matter if you've been bitten?
You lied to us.
No, I never lied to you. I don't recall anyone asking if I had been bitten.
Well, you didn't tell us the truth. That's for sure. You're a threat to all of us.
A threat. I saved this girl. Anna, is it? I saved her. And I didn't kill your sister. I'm sorry that you had to do it, but don't take it out on me.
This has nothing to do with that. All this time you've been sitting here making jokes. I get it now. It's a lot easier to crack jokes when you already have a death sentence, right?
Look, I feel fine. It's a small bite. I'm not going to die soon. And as far as being infected, it doesn't matter until you're dead.
You have to leave.
What?
You have to leave now.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
You're putting us in danger.
Look, if I feel I'm putting any of you in danger, you have my word, I'll leave right away. Hell, you can even cut my head off. I don't want to be one of those things, but I promise you, all jokes aside, I am not dying anytime soon.
You can't know that. What if you die in your sleep tonight?
I won't.
You can't say that.
I need you to trust me.
You are the last person I would trust.
Boys, stop it.
Of course you won't trust me. You've known me for a day.
Oh, trust me, that's long enough.
Oh, now you're telling me to trust you.
It was a figure of speech.
Stop it. Listen, you two can yell at each other all you like when there's not potential danger, but Rich just killed 2 of them outside, and as we've said, they tend to stay in groups. If there were 2, I guarantee you there are more to follow. So volume is of key importance right now. So you two better knock it off unless you want to get us all killed.
She's right.
Listen, look, I know you don't like me. You're not subtle, Dick. And God knows I don't like you, but look at me. I am a person. I'm a living, breathing person trying to survive as long as possible. And I may not have as long as you, but right now I am not dying. Maybe in an hour I'll break out in a fever. I'll start drooling everywhere. But if I do that, feel free to kick me out, but don't send me to an early grave, okay? Look, I really am sorry about your sister, but it's all part of the game, and I'm sorry to say she lost. She was a casualty on our side of the war, but that doesn't mean humanity has lost. I haven't given up, and neither should you.
Damn it. Okay. Let's talk this through. If we keep an eye...
Suddenly, Kyle grabs the gun from the floor and holds it up to Jerry.
Kyle, what are you doing?
You better leave, Jerry.
Look, what are you going to do, Kyle? Shoot me?
You better leave, Jerry.
Kyle, Put the gun down.
He's gonna kill us. Rich, you said it yourself.
Look, I know what I said, but you have to put the gun down.
No,
Kyle, calm down.
no, everyone stop telling me to calm down. No, I just had blood spattered all over me from a girl I was talking to just a few hours ago. I will not. Calm down.
Look, Kyle, this is just because you finally saw one of those things. You're having an anxiety attack. And you're just frightened. You're giving in to your phobia.
No, stop pretending you know me. You don't know anything about me.
Kyle, think about this. This is a person. This isn't a zombie. It would be murder.
No, it's self-defense.
No, Kyle, it would be murder.
Yeah, just like kicking me out would be murder. Can anyone here stomach that?
I'm not going to let you hurt anyone here.
Says the man with the shotgun.
No, stop the jokes.
Kyle!
Kyle pulls the trigger, but the gun only clicks. It is out of ammo. There was a long silence. Kyle slowly lowers the gun and breaks down.
Oh my God. Oh shit.
Well, Kyle, hey, lucky for you, I am a forgiving guy.
Kyle, it's okay.
I tried to kill him.
Well, in all honesty, I don't think anyone can blame you.
Oh my God. Was that a joke, Dick?
I guess it was.
I didn't think this was time for jokes.
If it's at your expense, I don't think anyone objects.
I'm sorry, God, why is this happening?
Life's too boring. Sometimes you just need to spice it up.
Nothing like the dead to spice up life.
Jerry, I'm sorry.
Hey, no need for that, kid. I told you, if you just relax in a time of crisis, life is a lot more bearable. Let's, look, here's the facts, guys. You can all continue yelling and pointing guns at each other, but so far, it really hasn't helped us against the common enemy, which just so happens to be an army of the Walking Dead.
As much as I hate to say it, Jerry's right. We have to work together. Deal?
Deal.
Thank the Lord, yes, deal.
I almost shot you.
Just say deal, kid.
Deal.
Anna, right?
Yeah. Deal.
Groaning is heard off stage. Rich goes to the window and looks out. He turns back to the group.
How bad is it?
Let's just say it's not good.
Any chance to run?
Nope. There's about 20 in the hall.
5 against 20. And the ones outside probably double that. And we're armed with an empty shotgun and chairs. Gotta love those odds.
I'm sorry.
What?
They probably heard me when I was yelling at you.
They would have come here eventually anyway. I don't think there's a safe place anymore.
Well, my weapon of choice are this glue bottle and these nifty baby scissors that probably couldn't even cut through paper. Kyle, would you like a book?
Paper cuts. The only way to go.
Anna, would you like a chair? I promise I won't breathe on you.
Thanks.
I'll take one of those, Rich.
Even if she doesn't fire, I can use Betsy as a bat or something.
Betsy, you named the shotgun.
I'm an adventurous accountant.
They all sit down, holding their pathetic weapons, staring at the door. After a moment of silence, Jerry gets up, takes the teacher's chair, and pushes it against the door. He backs up, looks at the door, and then adds one of the small child's chairs next to the teacher's chair in front of the door. Jerry sits back down with the others.
Yeah, I thought we should have a barricade.
The door's locked, right?
Yep.
They're not intelligent, right?
Nope.
How do you know?
Well, think about it. You kill them by damaging their head, right?
Yeah.
If they're intelligent, they'd all be wearing helmets.
Ah.
Wouldn't want to face a zombie that died riding a motorcycle.
I'm proud of you, Rich.
Why is that?
You called them zombies.
And you called me rich.
It's a miracle.
Through and through.
So, kid, up for a last game of Guess Who?
Why not? Nothing else to do.
Kyle and Jerry start setting up the game.
Thanks for helping out.
What did I do?
Helped everyone stay calm.
Well, if I couldn't do that, I'd be a pretty poor teacher.
So I know that Jerry was a tactless jerk when he asked, but you never answered whether or not.
What?
Never mind.
Whether or not I had a boyfriend who was killed by zombies?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Ah. And what about?
A boyfriend who wasn't killed by zombies?
Yeah.
No.
Ah. Well, when all this blows over, if we're not eaten alive ourselves, want to grab a bite to eat?
You sure Betsy won't mind?
No, I think she's retiring after this, going on vacation and all that.
Well, in that case, sure.
All right then.
Okay, does your person like horror films?
Oh, lives for them.
Kyle knocks a few tiles down.
Okay. Would your person survive a zombie attack?
I kind of doubt it.
I don't think you can knock any down.
You're right. You know, I think that's the one thing you can't tell just by looking at someone. Except Alfred. Yeah, that psycho. He could take out a whole platoon of zombies.
Jerry knocks down one tile and smiles at Kyle. Lights fade. The only sound is groaning from the hall and scratching at the door. End of play.
Whoa. All right. That was awesome. What's going on here? That was very great. You can start turning your videos back on, everybody, if you'd like. Oh, that's the John that's watching. Hey, John, how are you? That was awesome. Let's see, David Rook is going to run our Q&A for us. So I didn't mention this before, but if you have any questions for the playwright or any of the actors, there's a chat function at the bottom of your screen that we've all kind of been utilizing throughout the reading of the play anyway. And if you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can post your questions and I'll be sure that David gets them if he doesn't before I can get back. So David, take it over, my friend.
Brian, you want to run the Q&A?
Yeah.
Something went weird with my Mac, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Can everybody see everything still?
Yeah, I still got everybody. I still got
Okay.
everybody. David,
Because
you're doing
my
a good
Zoom
job.
just disappeared entirely. in the
Oh,
middle of the performance.
Well,
So
that
if you-
sucks, but you're still here, buddy, and we're glad that you're here.
Oh, good.
So I'm
So if you
seeing
wanna take
Justine
over the-
Pasquale says, Ellen, fantastic. Would love to see this on stage one day. I'm sure we all would. I think I speak for everybody. This really was a really great play, Ellen. Thank you for writing it. Ellen, you can take yourself off mute from here on out.
Sure.
Saint Efren, I think it's Stephanie Saint Efren, asks, what is your favorite zombie movie?
For me?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of a lot of them. Any Romero one is great in my books, but I would actually have to recommend Train to Busan is one I saw kind of recently, less known, fantastic. Check it out.
I'd put money that Evan Jones and Laura Graver know about that movie. Let's see. Oh yeah, well, Rich knows it. Don't forget any questions, anything at all. There's nothing off base here. You can ask really whatever you want. You can ask me questions. I love answering.
Well, I had a question for
what's that, David?
for Ellen, which is now my understanding you wrote this about how long ago?
12 years ago. So of course I wrote it when I was 7. Amazing. But yeah, so I've not looked at this play in like 12 years.
So it's a different kind of pandemic than we're experiencing today.
Yeah, but it's actually kind of, I found it kind of interesting hearing it again because at the time there was no pandemic going on, and now that we're in one, not to get too in depth about this zombie play, but the reason I wrote it was to kind of explore how people react in a crisis, and it does pull out the best and the worst in people, and so kind of watching it, it's like, oh yeah, I see some of that happening nowadays.
I can get behind that statement as well. John Cribbs asks, what board games are people playing during the current pandemic? John, that's not a, I'll answer that. We're playing Monopoly at my house, and we hate it. Yeah. Why? No, not why. That was actually a pretty good question. I love how you tied in the Guess Who game in this play. It was really cool. I think as an underlining element to the dialogue and what's going on, it really served the play very, very well. It was one of the things that I really attached when I first read this play. I was like, man, that is a great use of that dated game. Where are those games? Nobody buys that game anymore. Somebody bought it at a Salvation Army and it got brought to their elementary classroom. That's exactly what happened.
Sad is they've redone the game, so now the characters don't look nearly as interesting as the old school version. So like this is based off the old school version where they really had distinctive features. And fun fact, my best friend from college, who's now my sister-in-law, we used to play the game that way. We used to play psychological Guess Who, and that's why it ended up in this play, because we just had such a fun time playing it like that.
Deb is asking, she says, great story, great job, everyone. Does Jerry eventually die or harm the others? What do you envision as the playwright?
As the playwright, I have a tendency in a lot of my shows to leave the ending open-ended. I like the audience to be able to finish the story in their own imagination, because I like to do that when I watch things. I like to rework it and add on to what happens after the screen went dark or the lights went out. And so I purposely left it that way. And in all honesty, I've never given it my own thought as to whether Jerry does endanger them. I think it's more that this might be the last chapter for all of them with the impending attack, but it's up to you.
I dig that answer. I always say when people ask me, I'm always like, if I can make you talk about it in the car ride home, I've done my job.
Yeah.
And I think people do that. So no answer for Deb, but there you go. Deb, you can make up your own ending. However, if you did write this as a screenplay and you pitched it to someone, you'd have to pitch them on your sequel idea. So let me see here. Kevin asks, he says, I think this was my favorite reading so far. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for being here. What inspired the use of Guess Who in the story?
Yeah, as I mentioned, my roommate and I used to play it. So I was just kind of pulling from real life, in all honesty, and kind of thinking, wow, if I was holed up and trying to get my mind off an awful situation, and I was stuck in a elementary school, I would probably just pull out any game on the shelf and start playing it. So that's kind of how it got in there.
Let me see here. Our friend Megan Ryan has a comment, which is going to bring me to a question, I'm sure. She says the character of Anna was so haunting and mysterious. She didn't have the speaker view on. She had it on gallery view and was so excited for when she would speak ellipses or scream. Go ahead, Kaylee, take yourself off of mute, because I know I probably shouldn't have done this, but I text Kaylee during the reading and I was like, I keep watching you, you're slaying it. We all know that this is a weird platform to perform on, right? We get that. So how was it for you, other than just saying weird, to attach yourself to this character and really, because anybody who is watching you is going to agree with me, you were completely engaged, your facial expressions were great. I mean, you were present in every moment. It was really cool. Were there any challenges that you experienced reading this live?
Well, thank you. I've been doing Zoom theater school for the past 7 weeks.
Go ahead, tell everybody where you're going to school.
NYU. I'm graduating on Wednesday, I guess. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So I'm kind of used to it. I mean, a lot of my classes, I was kind of lucky in the fact that they were mostly audition prep, kind of not super interacty, I guess, over Zoom. But I did have some classes that were all about that, and kind of talking about the merits of looking into the camera, looking into certain squares, looking away, whatever. And so I think I owe a lot to that, because in addition to having 3 years of acting training from the school, I also got kind of this little tidbit of Zoom acting training, which is going to be our industry for a while. I've accepted that, unfortunately, especially as a, like a young professional trying to break out. My summer gig got canceled. Everything's going crazy. And I've accepted that the industry and community theater, which is literally everything to me, it's all going to be kind of frozen for a while. So the more we can learn how to make Zoom something, it's never going to be the same thing, but something, the better. And I kind of just did what I always like to do, which is play the circumstance. I mean, this girl's been through a lot of shit, and it's fun to sit in this moment. It's fun to look around you and imagine you're in a first grade classroom. It's like playing. So I just kind of leaned into the playing aspect of it, and really kind of didn't look at the script as much as possible, and just decided like what would pique her attention, what would make her kind of roll her eyes, what would take her out of it. So I don't know, I guess it's just trying to make it as much as what I would normally do as possible.
Well, you did a good job.
Thanks.
Let's see. Our friend Elisa Verb says, the Guess Who play, part of the play was the best part. Did it come from an actual experience Ellen had in the past? I'm kind of making up here. Did you determine the rules / characteristics before the play started? I guess the best way around that question is, did you decide on the archetypes before you put pen to paper?
In terms of these characters?
Yeah, I'm gathering that's what she's saying.
Yeah. Good question. Trying to remember 12 years ago what I did. I would say yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think Jerry was definitely the biggest character I had in mind. We've all probably met a Jerry in our life, and so like trying to write him was really interesting, and trying to find that person that you maybe kind of love to hate. And then I kind of wanted to go a little stereotypical, but try to break those stereotypes a couple times of, the leader and, the really innocent person, and really playing with the dynamic of how they shift, having Kyle being such a innocent person through the whole time, saying like, oh, we should help everyone. And then he's the one who tries to murder Jerry. Just kind of seeing how the characters change because of the situation they're in.
I thought it was really cool. The archetypes were really, really defined in this play, written as well as performed, which brings me to my man, Isaac Newberry. Isaac, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Actors, you can unmute yourself, by the way, if you were actor. Just makes it easier. Isaac, I've seen you play a buttload of different stuff throughout the years, or I don't know, 20 years at this point of knowing each other.
Yeah,
what was different about playing Jerry for you compared to the other roles that you've played in the past?
I mean, it was definitely a blend of some things I've played before. I think back to like Farnsworth Invention.
Great play, great production.
Yeah, and a little bit of Moriarty from Schenectady Civic, and just a kind of a blend. And man, he's just what a jerk that guy is. But he's we know that guy. Like anybody that's worked in an office knows that guy. Anybody that's been part of an organization knows that guy. Like we all know that guy. I worked for several years as a trainer in a sales environment. I think sometimes I had to be that guy. So yeah, I think I've spent a lifetime in various ways kind of working up to this guy, Jerry.
That's a good answer. How about somebody else? Yes, Evan.
I just had a comment. If you like, I was reading the stage direction, so I couldn't scroll through the chat in real time. But when I go up, this was definitely our most active chat room.
Yeah, definitely.
We've had.
The chat was wild.
Commenting on the show. Don't do it. Shoot him. Stuff like that. It's really.
I almost laughed a couple times because like there was some commentary on my character that occurred, and that was difficult.
It was,
and that's also kudos to Ellen's writing, because I mean the use of dick and how you use it was just really, really funny. And that's what Melanie and I were talking about after the reading yesterday, our rehearsal yesterday, was this is a really serious subject matter. Like, people are dying all around you, and the dialogue is still quippy. It's very funny. It's quick. It's a really fresh dialogue play. It's just awesome. So I mean, I guess you get that when you're hearing a play, and we have the option of chatting now. We can't do that in the theater. We can't be like, hey, this is really fun. You notice how many times he said dick? So it was really cool. So thank you for those of you who were commenting. That's great. Patrick White had you pegged, by the way, Isaac. He knew you were a zombie. Like 3 pages in, he was like, zombie. He was like, bitch is a zombie. Got him.
He said it after he said he was hungry. I think.
Yeah.
So hungry.
Yeah.
That's what it gets you. Let's see. Let me see what else we got here. Sorry, I'm not a very fast reader.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Ellen, have you ever eaten gummy bears off of a sheet of paper?
I have not, although I used to teach kindergarten and first grade. So I used to, every week, letter of the week, you would put the food on the letter, and the kids would, dip it in the glue and then eat it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me see. Katie Weinberg has a question for Brittany. How long did it take for you to perfect your zombie face? Follow-up question, did you use your automatic window in your car to help?
Well, I was actually, when we rehearsed this yesterday, I was like, what do I do? I was like trying to look over here, and Brian was like, just put your forehead like really close to the camera. And I was like, oh, I get it, like 11 in Stranger Things. So from that point on, I was like,
next time we'll have blood
dangerous.
trickling down your lip too. We'll get you
Can we all just do Brittany zombie face right now?
I almost laughed. I almost started laughing, and I was like, Brittany, if you laugh, you're gonna turn it into Gilly from SNL. I was like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Justine, it's a
Katie's
good
dying.
question, but I don't think we can go all the way through it. But I'll just ask one or two of the actors. What would your weapon of choice be in a real zombie apocalypse? I'm going to ask Heather Liz Cops that question. She played Maggie for us. Heather, what would be your weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse?
Part of me wants to be as badass as Daryl and say a crossbow, but I'd probably drop that thing and shoot myself in the foot. So I'm going to go with a machete.
It's a good one. It's handheld. It's great. Anybody that's ever shot a crossbow knows that thing is wicked hard to pull back. And he makes it look easy. It's not easy. Not that I've ever gone on a hunting spree or anything. Let me see who else. Kyle, what would be your weapon of choice in his own? Not Kyle. Nick Blasenko, who played Kyle. What would be your weapon of choice?
I don't know. I'd want to stay as far away as possible. So maybe like a sniper rifle with like unlimited ammo.
Yep.
I like that.
With Barry Pepper in the tower looking down. I feel you.
Yeah. Just get me on top of a building and let me never come into contact with anyone.
Nick, what would you use? Quick.
Crowbar. It's a weapon and a tool.
I like that.
That's smart. For those of you who haven't read it, there's a really cool book called How to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse by Max Brooks. It's really funny, and it's got pictures drawn in. It's a really great book. Let's see. I'm going down.
Isaac has it.
Zombie. That's good.
Fun fact, they actually asked that question in my grad school interview. What weapon would I choose in a zombie apocalypse?
That's an awesome question. That is a really great question.
What did you say?
I think I said running shoes, because I definitely would not fight back in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, here's a good question for Isaac. How did you prepare to plunge into the depths of smarminess? Good work of smarminess.
Well, I was kind of going through the chat there too. I'm thinking back all the way to Confetti Stage when I got back into acting in the area. And I played 2 roles back to back. There was this, funnily enough, I played a ghost that was a body snatcher. He actually like possessed a corpse and jumped up out of a casket. And he was a smarmy just jerk, the same as this one pretty much. And then I was in I Hate Hamlet and kind of played the same character all over again. So I don't know. It's been a lifetime apparently to lead to this. Like it's all been for this. I'm retired now. No more.
We have a question from John Cribbs. It's for the cast. And we kind of get this question in one way, shape, or form every week. How much more difficult is it to engage with your co-actors when you're not in the same room?
I feel like because we're doing a reading, it feels almost like it is in like early rehearsals when you're doing your book work at the table, because your head is still in the script. You're not off book yet. But I will say though, the chat thing was very like, it was funny because like I wanted to stay focused on my script, but some funny shit was coming through in there. It was almost like when you have that person in the audience that doesn't know that they're not really whispering, or they're in like the second row at Albany Civic and you can hear every word that they say.
Yeah. And we kind of talked about this yesterday in the rehearsal, and we've talked about it weeks before. You know, we can't hear your laughter, or you can't hear our laughter as an audience. And that's tough when you're doing a dialogue like this, which is really funny, and you would normally be hearing laughter. And we just say every week, we say the same thing, David, Evan, or myself. We're always like, just know that you're a talented actor and you know how to say these lines. You're talented, and we're laughing. You just can't hear us. We really like just want to beat that into the actors' brains. Is you're not going to get a reaction. Evan, go ahead.
I had a question for Ellen. I know you wrote this play when you were 7, but are there any? Are you planning to make any changes to it, or is this the final draft?
Well, I made some slight changes before giving it the final draft to the actors because after you guys said we want to do this, I was like, oh great, I should probably reread it. And so at that point going through, there were a couple times because in all honesty, I'm a really lazy writer. I don't do a lot of rewrites. I kind of write it and like, there it is. And sometimes, you know, when it's workshopped with a cast, they will add great things that then I'll, you know, steal from very, you know, openly and honestly. So this time I kind of just went through, and since I'd been away from it for so long, I kind of did have a little bit more of a step back to go, well, why did I word that way? That's really awkward. Or like, why did I make that choice? I'm going to tweak that a little bit. So did a little working on it, and would gladly continue working on it. You know, I would love the chance to actually workshop it with this amazing cast you guys put together, because I feel like they just naturally nailed it and really have these characters down. And I'm sure it could add a lot of fun to it that I didn't think about. And maybe
I think we're all
like
just those of us that know you, Ellen, are just grateful that you're in the room with us, because we all know that you have a baby running around crazy right now, and we're lucky that you got up and, you know, got dressed, because from what I've been told, I was a horrible baby to look after. So if your child is anything like me, you got your hands full. Any other questions? Make sure you put them in. Oh, Elizabeth Helmer
Her baby is adorable.
Well, of course it is. Elizabeth Helmer says, I like Cyclops. I like Cyclops, made me laugh out loud. Yes, that's my favorite part of the play as well. When they start talking about X-Men, that is, if you're a comic book geek like I was growing up, I know Isaac loves that line. That whole talk about Cyclops is literally laugh out loud funny. Man, I love that part. That was
my favorite interchange was the discussion. I really appreciated that.
Hey, David, any way you can look on the Facebook and see where we're at right now for Theater Voices? Let me see. Cyclops, a dead wife is not a personality.
Well, as to see, my brother is asking whether I named my baby after the worst character in Guess Who. I had forgotten that I had written that, so reading back was hysterical to be like, Claire is the worst character to get in Guess Who.
Yes.
She's not the
most distinctive.
Yes.
You know, most easily identifiable.
Let me see here. Any other questions?
We're at 1340.
Excellent.
$1,340. The president of Theater Voices loves that. But you know what? He'd probably take his shirt off if we could get to 1,400.
How much do you get David Brooks to take his shirt off?
The 1,500, I'll leave it on.
Usually doesn't take much at all.
Evan.
I just wanted, while we still have a bunch of people here, I wanted to give Ellen a chance to plug her podcast, and B, talk about why she chose to nominate Theater Voices.
Yes, please do so.
Perfect. Yeah. So real quick, yeah, my podcast is Everything Theater. I host it with the amazing Benita Zahn. I just ride on her, you know, coattails because she's so great. And we release an episode every other week, sometimes more if we're really, really busy. And we're still doing episodes even in this quarantine, non-live theater time. There's an episode about these guys from last week you can check out. There's one coming up about Justin Friello, who's an amazing musician in the area.
Phenomenal actor, singer, yes.
I love Justin.
Yeah. So yeah, check that out. It's anywhere you can find podcasts. So, you know, iTunes, Spotify, all of Stitcher, all those ones, and everything theater spelled ER because the other way was already stolen. But yeah, check us out.
And they plug any and all local theater too, like, either in the show or on their Facebook. So make sure if you are on a board or running some sort of community theater that you're hooking up with Ellen and B on Facebook and telling them that what your theater organization is doing, because they will gladly promote it for you.
Yes, absolutely. We love supporting everybody. We love talking to everybody. So, shout us, get in touch with us. We do our interviews over Zoom right now, and we would love ideas for podcast episodes. But going on to Theater Voices, I chose to support them because they're amazing. I had the honor to work with them earlier in the year in February, right before everything shut down, with the amazing John Romeo directed Sea Marks. And it's my first time working with them, but it was such a lovely experience. And everyone there is so beautiful and wonderful and so supportive. And as an audience member, there are two things that deter me from going to the theater. Either I don't have the time or I don't have the money. And so Theater Voices takes one of those reasons away from me. All of their performances are free. And that is just such an amazing service to be able to give to people. And to take that burden off someone to have to go and pay money, when they may not have it, is such a great way to make the arts accessible to everyone. And I really, really appreciate what they did. And when I heard that they had trouble staying as a company last year, my heart went out and I was like, well, that can't happen again. Like we need to raise money to keep their important work going.
Exactly. And also they have, Tony, correct me if I'm wrong. You do a 3 p.m. on Saturday as well as this 7:30, correct? Isn't there a matinee on Saturday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we always do 4 shows over the course of one weekend. So a 3 p.m. Saturday show as well.
Yeah, and you got to get there early because those seats go very quickly.
And for anyone who's ever,
we fill up.
Anyone who has ever acted in a Theater Voices show, they feed you in between shows. So it's really, it's on your conscience to donate some of that cost back to them.
Another thing is you're also getting an opportunity to audition. Eileen Schuyler, who's their artistic director, really pick shows that other places aren't doing or are afraid to do. And I say that all like every week they're doing, but they really do. She picks things that are a little off the cuff, which are great, or classics. When she lets her friend direct, The Subject Was Roses, because nobody else will let them direct it. But you also have the opportunity to work with professionals in the industry as well. Maggie Cahill will come over and direct a show. John Romeo directs shows. David Gerard directs a show. Ellen will direct a show. These are all really great directors. And then they mix in community theater actors as well. So it's a really good balance of professional and non-professional as well, which is really, really cool. Tony's the director too. He's a really good director. So I highly recommend it. Let's see, any other questions? I didn't even look, sorry. I'm ill prepared, guys. Because
I'm gonna post the donate link in the chat.
There it is.
And again, if you're not comfortable donating through Facebook, theatervoices.org/support has all the information you'll need.
And guys, once again, for those of you hearing this 100th time, I'm sorry. If you got the extra 20, 25, 50, 100, 150 bucks, fine, great, wonderful. We'll take it, that's wonderful. But we live off the $5, $10, and $15 donations. Don't feel like, oh, I can only do $5. No, $5 is great. Sometimes I only donate $5 because I work in the arts and I can't afford it. So don't be thinking, don't think like I can't donate enough. Anything is enough. Donate $1, throw it at them. Anything goes to the bills that they have. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I can announce next week's show if anybody would be interested in that.
Very interesting.
We are doing next Monday at 8:30. We know it's a holiday, but come on, you're in the house. Come hang out with us at 8:30 at night, right?
And it's kind of an appropriate play.
Yes, it's a really funky title called They Put Dad in a Box by the playwright's name is Ryan
Gangemi.
Gangemi. I've never met him. Evan knows this fella. The play is great. It's a quick one. It's probably like 20 pages long. It's a very fast play. We have a delightful cast lined up for you guys. We have Meg Jupin coming back to the Capital Region to read for us. Laura Graver, if you've seen her, she's good. Ryan Palmer, just okay. Bill Douglas, your father-in-law. Sarah Paupini, what?
That's her right there.
And Terry Storty will be joining us for the first time. So all of these actors are first timers with QeT. So we're really excited about that. So tune in on Monday night for that. We will be benefiting that night Classic Theater Guild out of Schenectady. And they'll be with us on Monday night to talk about their organization and how you can help. And hopefully what they're going to be doing when we get the heck out of this thing. All right. What do we think, boys?
Yep. I think
Great
that's
job,
great.
everyone. Thank you to the cast
That's
and
a wrap.
and Ellen, and thank you to everyone who watched, and especially thank you if you also donated.
Yes. And the donation button will be up until Wednesday. Wednesday. Share our post. Like us on Facebook. Tell your friends about us on Facebook. Sure, we love doing this. This is great. We were going to do this anyway. Raising money for local theater has been near and dear to our hearts, and we're going to keep doing it as long as you give us money. So
It's over $17,000 at this point.
Our next milestone's 20.
Help us get there. Help us get there.
20.
Thank you, Heather Liz.
Right,
Thank you,
right.
Jeannie. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Nick Moscatello, Nick Vasenko, Kaylee Hefner, Ellen Cribbs. Awesome play. Great job, my friends. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Cast and crew and Tony too, if you want to stay on. And
David, you should stop the YouTube feed now.
yep.